there a booster for you to stand up?
Yay. Good ass.
There you go.
I could do squats. I could do squats while we're back here.
Probably weigh about as much as the little
Everyone going to use this, sir?
Yeah. Don't get rid of it too far.
I know. A shorties. Shorties need it.
Mr. Becker, ready to go? Ready to go? All right.
Ready to go.
Liz. Thursday.
Well, good morning to everybody. Once I get our members to recognize the moment and welcome. Appreciate everyone making the time for this press conference. You know, this is a moment where our country, where we confront a deeply, deeply troubling question. How do we respond when the President of the United States turns the power of our federal government against the people of America and against the values of America? What is unfolding in Minneapolis is not isolated. It's not isolated because it affects each and every one of us. It's a direct challenge to our fundamental freedoms that define our democracy. The freedom to assemble, freedom of the press, the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, the right to due process under the law. And now with the killings of Renee Nicole Good and Alex Pretti in Minnesota, of Keith Porter here in California, and Silvero Villegas Gonzalez in Illinois, it seems like our very right to life is under attack as well. And to the people and leaders of Minneapolis, please hear this clearly. California stands with you. We have lived this reality. This fight came to California within days of President Trump taking office. And we are here today to say that you are not alone. We are here as a resource. We stand as partners, as allies. And this legislature, my colleagues, we will do everything in our power to move Congress to do their job. And we will do everything in our power to protect California residents from ICE's out-of-control illegal violence. Because Donald Trump's ICE operations, they're not about making our cities or our states safer. Deporting violent criminals has been done before under both Republican and Democratic administrations. It's been done, and it has been done without chaos, without this violence, and without this disregard for basic human rights. And it's clear that President Trump and Kristi Noem, they don't care about those rights. And it's time for Congress, it's time for the United States Congress to stand up for the American people. You know, no more murders in our streets by out-of-control federal agents. No more armed men in masks detaining 5-year-old boys. No more saying that peaceful protesters are domestic terrorists.
That's right. That's right.
No more chaos, no more violence in our cities, in our communities. This has to stop, and it has to stop right now. I'm calling on our national Democratic leaders to stand resolutely against this president. And if that means shutting down the federal government, then so be it. Shut it down. And Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, he has to lead with strength. Or if not, step aside and allow someone who will. And to every California Republican, I have this message. We need you to speak out.
Yep.
You cannot watch these videos coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and think that this is acceptable.
That's right.
We need your voice. We need your solidarity in standing up for American values. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. It's not left. It's not right. This is about our fundamental rights and freedoms. Silence those that are choosing to say nothing at all. That is a betrayal of our values, and it's a betrayal of our country. In this moment, we all must speak out, and speak out forcefully, peacefully, to defend what is moral and to defend what is right. And I want to thank the many members of the California legislature, our colleagues who are here with us, who have joined us here as a show of unity, of solidarity with the residents of Minnesota and with all Americans. I look forward to sharing additional details on legislation aimed at further holding the federal government and ICE agents accountable. Many of those legislators here are already working on these bills at this moment. And so next, I want to welcome the Senate President Pro Tem, Ms. Monique Limón.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We are here because we will not normalize what is happening in this country. It is not okay. It is not normal. We will not accept the harassment. We will not accept the deaths. We will not accept the injustice. We will not accept the illegal actions that are taking place every single day in this community. Last summer, we saw a death of a farm worker under the guise of immigration ICE agents. And these deaths have not stopped. They are in all corners of this country in this moment. They are going after the very values that make this country the country that we all strive to work for, to improve and to better. And those values, it is what is at stake, and the lives of the people who are standing up, who are speaking out, who are saying no to the madness, to the chaos, to the injustice, to the illegal actions that are happening. As I drove in to the Capitol today, I went through multiple cities, and you see signs in every city: stop ICE, ICE out. You see the names of those individuals who have died. And you recognize that everyone is feeling this moment in a deep and profound, dark place that we are at as a country. So we are here, united as a legislature, to let everyone know that we will not accept this to be the norm, that California will continue to do what California has always done, which is step up, speak out, and take action and lead in a moment in time where the federal government is taking us to one of our darkest points in history. This is not who we are, and it is not who we will be. We stand here in solidarity. And we will do everything we can as a legislature, as lawmakers, as humans, to care, to protect, and to fight for those values and those individuals who are at the forefront of protecting communities. Thank you all for being here. I now want to welcome Assemblymember Pilar Chiavio.
Good afternoon. My name is Pilar Chiavo, Assemblywoman for North LA County, and on behalf of the Legislative Women's Caucus, we are sending our deepest love to Alex Pretti's parents, his loved ones, his colleagues, and his community, and to all of the mothers and children and families being traumatized and harmed by the current President Trump's ICE agents. We grieve with you. Women wear many hats. I'm also the chair of the Assembly and Military and Veteran Affairs Committee. I'm the proud daughter of a disabled veteran. And I'm a former nurse advocate, and I'm a mother. Every piece of me was crushed when we witnessed the killing of VA registered nurse Alex Pretti. I'm forever grateful for nurses like Alex, who saved my dad's life more times than I can count. After 13 years of working alongside nurses, I know this without ever even meeting him. I know Alex had a big heart. I know that he was a fierce advocate for his patients, because that is what nurses do. They care for people. They're helpers. So, of course, Alex protected a woman as she was pushed down to the ground by immigration agents. Of course, he showed up to document the inhumane way that immigration agents are treating people in the streets of Minneapolis, even after he was pepper sprayed. Of course, he showed up because nurses are protectors. Trump's federal government is lying to us. They are not taking criminals. They are not going after the worst of the worst. Instead of making us safer, ICE agents are endangering our communities and making immigration enforcement more challenging. In Los Angeles, it is day 234 since Trump first sent ICE to our city, terrorizing and separating families and children, violating the foundational rights of our nation that it was built upon, and killing citizens in the street. This does not create safety, and we will not be silent. Now is the time to raise your voice. Now is the time to support your neighbors and peacefully protest. We could end this together, but it will take all of us. And we will keep showing up for each other, just like Alex Pretti, who showed up for veterans in his community. And like the thousands of Minnesotans and Angelenos and people across this country who are fighting for the survival of all families, of the United States of America, and for our Constitution, which so many, just like my dad, and now Alex Pretti, have sacrificed so much for. I will now introduce Sean Conway, a registered nurse at UC Davis Medical Center and a California Nurses Association and National Nurses United member.
Good afternoon. My name is Sean Conway, and I'm an intensive care unit nurse with UC Davis Medical Center and a proud union member of California Nurses Association. As nurses, we make it our mission to care for, protect the dignity of, and save human lives. We are outraged by the ongoing unchecked violence of immigration officers across the country. Immigration enforcement agencies pose a dire public health threat to all of our communities. 2 days ago, these extremists horrifyingly executed in the street one of our nurses, Alex Pretti, who honored and cared for veterans as an intensive care unit nurse at the Veterans Health Administration. Alex was fulfilling his calling as a nurse by protecting his community against ICE violence, terror, and lawlessness. nurses stand in solidarity with the people of Minnesota and their demand for the immediate abolition of ICE. No nurse should be murdered in cold blood for simply standing up to protect their community. Thank you. I'll pass it off to Senator Ana Caballero.
Good afternoon. Let me be absolutely clear. ICE's actions are illegal, deprive citizens and non-citizens of their constitutional rights, and most recently have murdered peaceful demonstrators. Say their name, Alex Pretti and Renee Good. Both had the opportunity and the right to disagree with what ICE was doing and to say so. We stand in solidarity with them and Minnesotans who are in mourning, and we mourn with you. We are angry, we are heartbroken, and we are resolute. What we are witnessing is an abuse of power. Federal agents are terrorizing communities, traumatizing children, using a 5-year-old to get to their parents. Can you think of a worse scenario? They are detaining Americans and tearing families apart. California, Illinois, Minnesota, and Oregon have all been used as test grounds for mass detention agendas that are reckless, discriminatory, and cruel. That is the truth, and we will not look away. But hear me clearly. The goal is chaos. Chaos as justification to deploy the military against civilians, to silence lawyers and escalate these raids even further. We will not give them an excuse. Our power is to stay peaceful and to protest, which is our right. Document the abuses and report misconduct. The good thing is that there's video that shows exactly what happened, despite the lies told by the federal administration.
That's right.
No one is above the law, including federal agents. California has created a public reporting portal so people can submit photos and videos and help build a record that will lead to accountability. California law is clear. Our state and local law enforcement do not participate in these raids. We are funding legal help so people can stand before a judge instead of being shot, detained, or disappearing. This moment is painful, but it is not hopeless. We protect each other by staying calm, informed, and united. We support our immigrant neighbors, and we demand congressional action. We will keep faith with the values that built this state, honoring diversity, equity, and inclusion for all, including our immigrant brothers and sisters. Californians will not surrender our conscience nor our moral code. We will stand strong together and with the rest of the country. Thank you for being here today. Next, I'd like to introduce Assemblymember Liz Ortega.
Good morning. I'm Assemblymember Liz Ortega, representing District 20. I'm also the Vice Chair of the Latino Caucus. We cannot accept what is happening in Minneapolis or anywhere else in this country. What we're seeing right now is not normal, and no one, and I mean no one, is safe. In California, we've been fighting back in the legislature and in the courts. As a caucus, a very diverse and strong caucus, we have been working hard to pass bills to keep us safe, keep ICE out of our schools and hospitals, and to prevent these cowards from covering their faces. But the time has come for Democrats in Washington, D.C. to do their part. We do not need a sequel of what we just saw 4 months ago in D.C., when promises were made about standing up to Trump, and then they were broken. Stand up for something. No more smiley faces or promises that you do not keep. No more statements of strength. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Stand up for Trump. Stand up to Trump and his militia who are terrorizing our communities. We all saw the picture of baby Liam, a 5-year-old, who should be in school today, on Monday, but he's not. He's in a detention center with many other children. They're disappearing our babies. They're murdering innocent people on the streets. So today, we say, enough. Don't vote to give him any more of our money. Shut it down. This message is for Senator Chuck Schumer. Do your job. Stand for something. Don't fold again. Sorry. Next is Senator Aisha Wahab.
Hello, my name is Aisha Wahab. I'm the state senator for the East Bay and South Bay. Today, we gather with heavy hearts to mourn the senseless deaths of Renee Good and Alex Pretti, 2 humans taken too soon from Minneapolis amid federal immigration operations. Renee, a mother and a wife. Alex was a nurse who spent his life saving others. Their lives mattered, and yet at the same time, they are not the only ones, but they are the ones that we are talking about today. We know that there have been children torn apart from their families, women who have made complaints of sexual abuses in detention facilities. We know that families are being broken apart, and yet we also know that these tragedies are not isolated. We have seen time and time again that these things continue to happen under our watch. Across this country, people are being detained without meaningful due process. Women have reported these abuses time and time again, not just recently. Children have been separated and families traumatized. This is not just policy. It's life and death. Immigration enforcement must be lawful, humane, and measured. Aggressive, unaccountable enforcement doesn't protect communities. It terrorizes them. It destroys trust in government. It silences witnesses. It makes victims afraid to report crimes, and it leaves entire neighborhoods feeling hunted instead of protected. That is not public safety. That is public failure. And in America, no one is above the law. That's right. Not civilians, not elected officials, and not officers hiding behind a badge, let alone someone wanting to be G.I. Jane. No one is beyond accountability. Even in war, the world recognizes red lines. You do not target civilians, you do not harm children, and you do not abuse people in custody. Those are basic standards of humanity, and our government must meet them here at home. If force is used, it must be justified. If lives are lost, we demand answers, not excuses. Our Constitution applies in every neighborhood, in every city, in every enforcement action, and civil rights does not stop at the border. So today, we demand what every family deserves: a full, transparent, independent investigation with facts released to the public and accountability wherever it leads, because justice is not optional. Accountability is not negotiable. And I want to say this because we all stand here. Kristi Noem, if she has integrity, she must resign.
That's right.
We honor Renee and Alex by refusing to look away and by standing for a basic truth. Every person deserves protection under law. Every person deserves dignity. Every person deserves to come home alive. And to the American people, Republican and Democrat, immigrant and native born, this is bigger than party. This is about who we are. We do not build a strong nation by breaking families. We do not build safety through fear. We do not defend freedom by violating rights. Today, we stand together and we say, not in our name, not in a democracy, not in the United States of America. I ask all people, Republican and Democrat, man and woman, to stand up, speak out, and show the world that this nation will always and forever belong to we, the people.
Come on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce Assemblymember Mike Fong.
Come on, Paul.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Mike Fong, proudly representing District 49. And as chair of the Asian American Pacific Islander Legislative Caucus, we stand with our speaker, with our pro tem, and all our colleagues up here in strong solidarity with the families of Alex Pretti, Renee Good, the people of Minnesota, and with every family whose lives have been torn apart by deadly federal law enforcement actions. We carry the voices of our diverse immigrant communities who live in constant fear about their safety as they go to work, to school, or grocery shopping. What is happening in Minnesota today reflects a national crisis driven by a failure of leadership and accountability at the highest levels of the federal administration. Many of the families we represent came to America, came to the United States to escape violence, to escape oppression, only to face it again under the false banner of enforcement. We condemn violence against civilians and demand the immediate de-escalation of federal law enforcement operations that have put our diverse immigrant communities in danger. The API Legislative Caucus stands in strong solidarity with everyone in Minnesota, California, in demanding justice, accountability, and real change. We will not be silent. We will not look away. And we will not accept a system that treats human lives as collateral damage. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Senator Laura Richardson.
Go, Senator. Come on, Senator.
Good afternoon. I'm Senator Laura Richardson, and I'm speaking on behalf of the California Legislative Black Caucus. We are 12 members strong. We're not afraid. We have been here before. And we refuse to stand by and continue to watch this happen. Let me tell you a little story, since it seems like the administration maybe missed History 101. Back in 1776, people came here to this country to be freed from a king, to be freed from someone who improperly imposed taxes, who took land, who attacked people. That's what happened in 1776. When we had forefathers who passed the Bill of Rights that gave us the right to stand forward and to protest. But what happened? From 1776 to 1864, what happened? We had the Civil Rights Movement, and we had the Civil War. We got to stop there first. And in that Civil War, what happened? We found that even though there were laws to protect all of us weren't protected. And so the Civil War took place to say, no, you can't grab people and make them slaves. No, you can't lock people up. No, you can't lynch people. And so then what happened? After we had the Civil War, we found it still wasn't fixed. And so then we had in 1964 the Civil Rights Movement. And that movement, what I would say to you is that we saw it took more than words. It took the bombing of a church where children were killed. It took going on a bus where young Jewish men, African American men stood and said, we deserve to have the rights of all citizens. And so what I say to you is, why is it that we're still repeating the past? Why haven't we learned from 1776 to 1863 to 1964, and now it's 2026, and we're still fighting the same battle? So what I'd like to say on behalf of the California Legislative Black Caucus to the President of the United States, since we know that you watch television, since we know that you follow polls, listen to what is happening. And I'm going to leave you with this story. I was married to a police officer. Do you know that police officers take the same oath as we take to follow the Constitution of the United States? This isn't following the Constitution. When a man helps a woman who was pushed to the ground, that is not following the Constitution to take a gun and kill someone. What a police officer does is that there were men right there on top of him. He was contained. You contain the individual, you move the weapon, and you proceed to have the discussion of making sure that lawful activity is occurring. That's what laws are. This isn't what we're seeing. Mr. President, we need for you, and this is the last message. You said that January 6th, you didn't incite a riot. You said you didn't tell people to go to the Capitol. Okay, Mr. President, we're asking you to say to the Secretary, enough. This is not taking people who have committed crimes. This is a violation of our laws, and we will continue. The reason why we're here, you might say, why is this group here? We're here because it takes us speaking up and you reporting so people see that enough is enough. And with that, I'm going to leave you with the quote, how dare we honor Dr. Martin Luther King, and then we have people with what's happening today. Dr. Martin Luther King said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. We are Californians. We are Americans, and we will not be silent. We will come each time, every day, until this stops. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to acknowledge Assembly Member Mark Gonzalez.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Madam Pro Tem, for bringing us together this morning. When you were talking about traveling today, I was remembering I normally pack my license, but now lately I've had to pack my passport just to prove my citizenship in the event that I get stopped because I'm brown. We are gathered in solidarity with our neighbors in Minnesota experiencing ICE terror tactics. What has been happening there is not isolated. It is part of a growing, dangerous pattern of federal power turning inward on the very people that it claims to serve. Our gathering today is about solidarity with Minnesota, with grieving families, and with every community that has felt the heavy hand of federal enforcement in the place of justice. As a Californian, as an Angelino, and as a representative of a community that has been targeted every single day since June the 6th and just a few minutes ago, I want to be clear. We know this playbook. Our neighborhoods have lived with raids, intimidation, and fear for years. This is not abstract, it's personal. ICE publicly executed Renee Good. ICE forcibly took a 5-year-old from their family. ICE murdered a peaceful protester in broad daylight. Where there should be protection, there is only the echo of gunfire. In 2026 alone, only 26 days into this new year, ICE has already killed 9 innocent people. Alex Pretti, Renee Good, Keith Porter, Heber Sanchez Dominguez, Victor Manuel Diaz, Perry La, Luis Beltran Yanez Cruz, Luis Gustavo Nunez Caceres, and Gerardo Lunas. Say their names because silence is complicity, and I'm talking to you Republicans. Where there should be justice, there is only another name that has been taken too soon. Now let's speak to the hypocrisy that we are seeing today. Charlie Kirk's 2018 post is going viral yet again, where he wrote that the Second Amendment exists in case, quote, government becomes tyrannical and turns against its citizens, end quote. Well, what do you call mass federal agents killing people in the streets? What do you call children being taken from families? Is that government overreach? That is, I don't know what is. And today, even the NRA is calling out the dangerous ignorance of federal officials trying to excuse the killing of Alex Pretti. When even staunch defenders of the Second Amendment recognize the need for accountability, we must listen. It tells you just how far this has gone. I was in church yesterday and in Mass, and Scripture reminds us that Woe to those who make unjust laws and to those who issue oppressive decrees, Isaiah 10:1. ICE has no shame. ICE does not care. ICE silences protests with bullets. ICE only enforces fear, breaks families, and betrays the very humanity that it claims to protect. So hear this commitment, and let's have it written plainly. We will not be silent. We will not bow to fear. We will not surrender our neighbors to cruelty dressed up as law. We will legislate until justice is no longer optional. We will litigate until truth is no longer buried. We will organize until every family knows they are not alone. And we will lead not with hatred, but with courage and with conviction. Because our communities are worth protecting. Our children are worth defending. Our dignity is not negotiable. And until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream, we will stand, we will fight, and we will not stop. Thank you. And I'd like to introduce, to bring us home, Senator Wiener.
Good morning. I'm Scott Wiener. I have the honor of representing San Francisco and northern San Mateo County in the state Senate, and I'm here today as co-chair of our legislative Jewish caucus. A core tenet of the Jewish faith is welcoming the stranger and helping the stranger. That is what these protests are about. It is about all of us sticking up for our immigrant neighbors, whether or not we know them, because the terror that is being inflicted on our immigrant communities is so vile, and we all must stand up against it. And what Alex Pretti did was to stand up and to welcome a neighbor, a protester who was being attacked by ICE. And Alex paid for that core value with his life. And that is where we are. Yes, Congress has to do its damn job. That means Democrats. It also means the Republicans, who are absolutely fueling this administration and their reign of terror and allowing it to happen. And in California, we also have such an important role to play, because in addition to welcoming the stranger, in addition to protesting, we need to hold these thugs accountable. And that means criminal prosecution, and I want to thank the District Attorney of San Francisco, Brooke Jenkins, for making clear that if these thugs come to San Francisco and commit crimes, criminal prosecution is on the table. It means civil liability, and we are working on that. And it means forcing them to take the damn ski masks off so we know who they are and can hold them accountable, and we did that last year. In California, if you're going to come for our folks, for people in our community, you're going to have to come through us first. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So that everyone can make it on session on time, we're going to conduct interviews one-on-one. So reporters, please feel free to approach the front of the room. Thank you, everybody.
There we go. We're done.
Good job.
Thank you. Your hum behind me was really inspiring.
Yeah. I was trying to get it.
Yeah, no, it was good. That was good.
Having been cared for by ICU nurses, and all, so thank you for what you do. Good morning.
Neil.
I love it.
We're working on the video kind of with the pro tem, just kind of saying no eyes, leave eyes, like end the terror. Would you like to say something? I kind of showed it on sheet for